where your strengths are, to what you can highlight, where you're going to come off as most authentic, and that becomes an exercise in self-efficacy. Like, you have to know who you are, and you have to know what your strengths are, because if you're going to try to trick an audience, whether it's an audience of 500 people in an auditorium, whether it's a virtual audience behind a camera, or whether it's an audience of one on a date, whether virtual or in person, doing anything to try to trick them is the wrong approach, because authenticity and credibility will just pour through your performance. And people aren't stupid. I think there is something to faking it until you make it, but it's faking it with authenticity. So it's okay to try and fail. There's nothing wrong with that. But as long as you're putting an honest effort forwards, and like you're trying to get through it. I'm not sure how to be around blonde-haired women. They make me so nervous. Or the smell of her perfume, I didn't realize it would bother me so much. Or things like that are just going to happen. And you have to get through those moments. The show goes on, if you will. I mentioned I did a webinar the other day. We live in a virtual world, and technology is either our friend or our enemy, right? And so I log in early, as I always do, at least a half an hour early, to make sure everything is working. And this button, can everyone see on this screen? Can everyone see on that screen? How's my volume? How does it work? You have to do that. You have to prepare, right, for your role. And of course, during the presentation itself, there was a co-host, and I'm not sure what happened, but my PowerPoint wasn't working until halfway into the presentation. And the co-host was like, no one can see your PowerPoint. And I was like, oh, well, that's a shame, because everything I've been talking about, I'm hoping you've been seeing the images. So right there and then, as opposed to panicking, freaking out, and running out of the room, right? I said, okay, folks, indulge me. Let me toy around a little bit. Oh, now we can see it. Great. I'm just going to go back real quickly, and I did like a Cliff Notes version of what they saw, right? Just like, okay, are we all caught up? Yeah, there are some things that it would have been better if you had seen those in the moment, but the moment is past. It's gone. Like, what are we going to do? Hey, it's all right. Now, that to me is very parallel to what happens on a date if it's not going well, or if you've tried something and it just didn't work, right? That person is there for you on some level. It's a date, human to human, right? Everyone makes mistakes, and if at the end of the day you've shown that you've prepared the best you can, and you're putting the best version of yourself forwards, even with some of the stumbles, that should result in success. You will have made it while it's kind of faking through your embarrassment, or maybe you said something you shouldn't have, or maybe you really can't, maybe you're not really enjoying the company, that you're in front of. The show goes on. You have to maintain that level of professionalism, that level of do the right thing, which is let's get through it, just do your job. And at the end of it, thank you. It's been wonderful. I hope we can work together again. Or at the end of a date, thank you. This has been nice. Let's see where this goes. Now, if you flat out just offended somebody, the best thing to do is to say, I am realizing that I may have made a mistake. I made a mistake. And I'm trying to think about how I can maybe correct that mistake, but I realize the mistake has happened and you're probably thinking about it. I'm sorry. If you are, if you're sorry, say you're sorry. If you're not sorry and you're just kind of like, you know what, I'm sorry I offended you, but whatever, then you probably have to go on another date with someone else,
Yeah.
right? It may not be a good match,
Yeah.
but it should always be a good match if your first response when you step in it is to say, "Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Like I can do better,
Yeah.
and I hope you'll let me."
Can it sometimes be important to do that, right? Like, if someone really doesn't have the confidence, if someone is really like overwhelmingly shy, or something like that. Um,
Yes. I'll tell you what I see in the speaking world, and then I'll tell you how I see it playing out in the dating world. So, no one gets on stage, whether it's virtual or in person, just guns blazing, ready to go, totally prepared.
yeah.
Rehearsing, um, you know, uh, speaking to a room of nobody, speaking to a room of their friends and family, speaking to a room, maybe a small room of strangers, maybe that were invited to things. It's leading up to that moment. You have to get there. And all the time, it's faking it. No one knows what they're doing when they start. They have no clue. Zero clue. But you have to try and fail, but keep this face of, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, because that self confidence, that courage and determination to keep moving forward is as important as getting to the end. You have to maintain that. Now, it's hard to maintain that sense of self-worth when you keep making mistakes,
Yeah.
right? It's hard to put on the facade of, okay, I'm faking it till I make it, like, okay, I'm gonna just keep going. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
If the situation allows, right, if we're in a pandemic, or that's a different story, and it might be a little tricky, but having a wingman or a wingwoman,
Yeah.
I think in this scenario works very nicely, and this is the bridge to the dating life, right? So you should put around yourself people that you trust, people that you feel safe around, people that you feel will give you an honest, sensitive but fair reaction to what you're presenting to them. And knowing that they love you and trust you and take care of you, emotionally, right? Because it's hard to keep faking it, and then finally it snaps into place.
Yeah.
It's hard. So putting a team around yourself is an excellent way of faking it until you make it, and you have your team around you are like the bumpers,
Yeah.
they're kind of keeping you in play. Bing, 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 right? Like, yep, you made a mistake. Boom, get back in there. Oh, nope, get back in there, right? Okay. Thank you. I'm going to do it again, right? Thank you. Okay. Let's do it again, right? And that's the rehearsals. Those are the workshops. That's the training that goes into getting someone to move from mediocre to great in terms of their presentations. In the dating world, this idea of a wingman or a wingwoman, right? When you're trying to test out the waters, you're trying to find your confidence, is bounce it off that person, or bring that person with you. Have them. I don't know. I don't do a lot of virtual dating these days, but bring this person and sit them right here, right?
Yeah.
And go on a double date with someone else in a virtual date, so that you can bounce who you are and what you're going to do off other people.